Hey, I'm Ryan Phelan, and you're listening to the Epic Phelan podcast. This time I talked with Averi Armstrong from the Backyard Axe Throwing League. We discussed how BATL helps build community through axe throwing and why baseball players have a hard time throwing axes. Hello, here we go with another episode of Epic Phelan, and today we have Averi Armstrong, and she is with BATL, with the Backyard Axe Throwing League. So axe throwing has been something that's kind of been a popular thing here, and we're just going to interview Averi over a game of Jenga.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So what got you into axe throwing?
Well, I was working part-time jobs. I was working for a water park in Niagara Falls, and I was just looking for something different. And out comes this brand new venue in Niagara Falls called BATL, and they're looking for some entry-level staff, some coaches on the lanes, and so I applied and got the position.
That's super cool. And one of the questions that I ask anybody from Calgary eventually is, where are you from?
Yeah, so I was living in Niagara Falls for school, and then I just kind of settled there as I started to work for BATL full-time. And then BATL, I rose the ranks, became a floor manager, and then last year I moved out to Calgary to run this venue.
Wow, so they just shipped you out here?
They did. Yeah, now I get to run a venue that's 3 times bigger than Niagara Falls.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Did you have any family out here? Was it just you making the solo adventure?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just me, my dog, and my car, and that's how we got here.
That's amazing. That's a bit of a challenge. Did you know much about Calgary before that?
I've heard of the Stampede, and I knew there was mountains. I knew that everyone said, as soon as I go, I'm not going back.
Oh, really? And so I guess that brings me to my next question is, what do you think of it so far?
It's a fantastic city. I absolutely love the people in it. It's got that small town charm, but all the big city perks, which is just so much fun. Perfect.
So you've been here, you said a year.
A year, yep.
Okay. Have you had a chance to get out and see many of the different communities, or do you have a favorite community that you like so far?
I've been all over. I spend some time in Okotoks. I've got a lot of friends that are out there. Banff is absolutely stunning. I love visiting out there. I was able to bring the targets to Cochrane, one of the golf clubs. They were having a big charity event, so we got to bring some of our axe targets and actually throw with the mountains in the background.
Oh, right on. That's super cool. Well, before I ask you any more questions, I know it's so bad. Let's get started on the Jenga. Well, do you want to go first? Do you want to go second?
I'll go second.
Okay.
Show me how it's done.
Okay. Oh, now that you say that. There we go.
Well, you already got a piece out for me, so I'll just finish that one off.
Oh, nice. Right on. So axe throwing, it's become a real sport. So when you say a league, how many people would be in this league?
So we currently run 6 leagues. We have 2 on Sunday, 1 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And in our leagues, we have up to 30 people. So they're quite large. It's such a good vibe to have a bunch of people because all walks of life are in the same league. Doesn't matter your skill level, whether you're beginner, advanced, or throwing on a more or less professional level where you're trying to make money in tournaments. Everyone throws together, and it's just a fun time where you have everyone in the community just coming out to throw axes and drink beer.
Right on. So, okay, so you answered my other question. Do you serve alcohol at axe throwing?
Yeah, we do. We serve a lot of local products. Like Wild Rose, we served their Ponderosa for quite some time.
Oh, nice. Do you do food as well?
Yeah, we have our own in-house kitchen where everything we make is absolutely from scratch. So our kitchen staff are absolutely phenomenal, constantly making like these delicious pretzel bites that you just can't get enough of.
Good to hear too. My brother's bachelor party, actually, we went out and did axe throwing, but that was in Edmonton. It was like a bunch of like little hatchets is what we're throwing, and then they're like, oh, they're gonna bring out the big axe, and then there's like, do you have like different sizes of axes or whatnot?
Yeah, so standard gameplay, we throw hatchets. The heads are 1 1/4 pound to 1 3/4 pound head, and then it's all wooden handles, so that's what we throw in regular gameplay. And then for tiebreakers, we'll bring out a big axe, which is your standard axe that you chop wood with. Yeah, we keep it super authentic. We don't have any kind of throwing axes that are specifically designed for this sport. We just use whatever you chop wood from the hardware store, and that's what we throw.
That's awesome. So are you a member of any of the leagues? Like, do you compete yourself?
I do. I currently throw in the Thursday League. It's a unique league because we're playing with some very strict and challenging rules, so it's kind of a rec league that we're playing in. Bullseyes have to be 100% within the bullseye, so if it bleeds at all, it's a lower value. So it's very challenging, but it's fun.
I've seen this YouTube clip once where this guy he throws this axe and it bounced back directly at him when he caught it.
Yeah, we don't recommend that.
But I mean, I don't recommend that at all. But I'm wondering with the alcohol involved, if there's any.
No.
Yeah.
We're 100% safe. So we're underneath the governing body, the IATF, which is the International Axe Throwing Federation.
Okay.
So they have all the strict safety guidelines and all the rules and regulations that we have to adhere to, and it's very, very strict, and that's what keeps us super safe. So that's why we throw wooden handled axes, as well as we have wood on the back of the targets and even on the ground, so it absorbs any kind of bounces. There's absolutely no rubber in our venue.
Oh, okay. Is there a minimum age to go to your venue?
Yeah, we do 14 and up, so we do have some families that come on out with all their teenagers and enjoy time. And then they just come out as a family, so you'll see the 14-year-old throwing against his grandmother or vice versa, and just it's anyone's game.
And what would you say the ratio is, guys to girls going out and throwing axes?
50%.
50-50?
Yeah, all of our leagues are 50%, 50-50.
And as a guy, do you find the guys get a little bit sore if you beat them?
No, we don't tolerate that. No, everyone's super good. So all we're about is being good to one another and using axes as a tool to help build that community.
That's wicked.
Exactly, and it just fosters such a positive environment that even if you're playing against someone that can crush you any day of the week, as soon as you get a bullseye, they're cheering you on. And so it's just such a fun atmosphere that everyone's really supportive, and there's absolutely you're only ever frustrated with yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. All right, let's continue on with the Jenga here. Have you done any other kind of competitive sports or any other sports before?
All my life. I've been in sports since I could walk. It was just something that's a part of me, but I like to try out a million sports. So That's why axe throwing was the next thing on my list to try, and so I decided to do it as a career.
That's wicked. Have you gotten a chance to check out many of Calgary's attractions while you've been here so far, being here for a year?
Yeah, I got to actually go to the Calgary Stampede with our targets. Again, that's how I travel a lot of the area. So we got hired on to do one of the private parties, and so we brought our targets to the Stampede grounds and got to throw and experience all the live music and all the chariot races. What are they called here?
The chuck wagon races.
Chuck wagons.
Chariot races is good too. It's like a whole gladiator kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they are, right? I'm getting used to the lingo here.
Yeah, no, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. So Stampede, obviously. Mm-hmm. What else do you like to do when you're not throwing axes?
When I'm not throwing axes, I'll explore different aspects of the city. There's so much fun stuff to do. Archery tag is a lot of fun. I went to Bragg Creek paintball just recently. That was a blast. There's some really cool bars in town as well, and a lot of neat little food niches that who doesn't love to eat? So that's what I hit up.
True enough. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Now, if you were getting into axe throwing, are there any kind of tricks that you would need to know about throwing an axe?
Yeah, absolutely. So the most basic thing that everyone needs to know is to let the axe do the work. A lot of people think that they have to throw it as hard as they absolutely can, and that's not the case. Physics alone will get that axe to the target. What you have to do is just lean into it and follow through. That's the most important thing when you're throwing. Okay.
Also, what I like to ask people is that in the spirit of my my podcast name, which is Epic Phelan, Phelan being my last name, nice. And Epic Phelan, of course, an epic fail. What would be an epic fail if you were to go into axe throwing? What would be big not to do?
A big not to do, throw it too hard.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of people, especially if they're throwing one-handed, like baseball players, they struggle the most with axe throwing because you want to keep your blade in line with the target, in line with the grain. But oftentimes baseball players and like people that think they have to throw really hard will drop their shoulder and just power it to the board. And then that's just too much power, not enough rotation, and then it just falls down.
Cool. If somebody wanted to get into a league, what does that all entail? Like, how much commitment would somebody need?
So our leagues are 8 weeks long, $125. So that's like $15 a week. And it's basically just come on out, come sign up. If you have to miss a night, we can just move the matches around. We're super flexible as long as you're communicating that with us. And then you get 4 matches a night. You get an hour of practice before, a free hour of practice after. If you have any friends or family that you want to introduce the sport to, they can also throw for free at the end of the night. So it's just a lot of throwing with the best people you'll ever meet. And it's just a good time.
Oh, right on. So you said you've been out to like the foam archery and paintball. Do you see that as much as like a competition towards your sport, or?
I don't think of it necessarily as competition. I think the more we get people out and doing stuff, the better. And new things. Everyone needs to try something new, and a lot of people are missing that sense of community. And that's what we provide. So we always say that we use axes as a tool to build community. So that's whether through all the charity work that we do or to just encourage people to come out and interact with others. And that's why a lot of our league members actually consider our venue a second home. Like, they're here more times in the week. They see each other more times than they see their extended family. And it just becomes a really positive place for them to be in that sense of belonging. That's really important.
Perfect. All right. So I think it's your turn.
My turn. Oh, got a little wobble.
Yeah, a little wobble there. You mentioned charity work. What kind of charities would BATL be involved in?
So all over the place. As a whole, we do a lot of work with like Big Brother, Big Sister, a lot of stuff with Axe Cancer. There's a lot of different venues that participate with that. As for myself, our venue, basically we do a lot of donations to a lot of the fundraising efforts. So different galas that are happening in town, you'll probably see one of our donations at anything that's happening.
Nice. What was it again that got you into Jenga when you were living in Niagara?
I got into axe throwing by just looking for unique jobs. I could never work a 9-to-5. I'm currently not ever going to look at working a 9-to-5. Yeah. Axe throwing is one of those unique careers that it's event based, so it's all people oriented, and that's what I really fell in love with this company in particular. Is that our mantra is be good to one another, and if you aren't living up to that in every aspect of your life, then it's just what I need. That's
a very positive outlook, and that's something that you wouldn't quite expect from a bunch of people that are throwing axes around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One of the best quotes that we ever had in our community, and it was at our big National Axe Throwing Championship in Toronto, where we had 700 people watching the finals. Absolutely massive. And as you can imagine, axe throwers, you do have the big burly type, you have the beards, you have all that, but you also have a ton of others. Any body type can throw an axe, and that's what's amazing about it. But anyway, we had this venue full of people. It was absolutely jam-packed. And everyone had their own axe in their hand. Everyone was having a beer. They're having a good time. And one of the best quotes was from one of the finalists' mother. She's like, you have 700 people holding axes, and all they want to do is hug one another. And that's just the embodiment of the sport.
Oh, that's super cool. So you said nationals. Is it always in Toronto, or is it?
Yep. So there's a whole bunch of tournaments that are happening. We just had Choptober in Urban. Yeah, Choptober.
I love it, Choptober.
Yeah. It just happened at Urban Axe Throwing, which is down in the States. And it's a whole tournament circuit that's all around North America and in the world as well. And so we all come together in Toronto for Axe Prom as well. It's a big all-star weekend. Yeah. And it's an international championship where our most recent one had a $20,000 prize pool. So there's quite a bit of money in axe throwing. Plus, it's just you get to party with the best people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, that's super cool. What year did you get into axe throwing? Like, how long have you been doing it for now?
This is my 3rd year. So I've been throwing about half that time. So my first year of working for BATL, I ran the leagues. So I was one of the forefronts on like developing them in Niagara and helping build out that community. And then I decided one year, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw in a league. So
nice.
I've only been throwing for a couple of years now, like officially in leagues. But it's been 3 years since I picked up that first hatchet.
Okay, now when you compete, do you like compete as a Calgarian, or do you compete as like from Niagara?
Now that I've been throwing enough for a full year in Calgary, anytime you throw a league, a full season, that becomes your home venue, wherever you throw the most in. So Calgary's now become my home venue. So if I were to visit any of the tournaments, then I'd be competing as Calgary.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we have you. I'm glad we have you on our side for sure.
Yeah.
Right on. I see that there's like quite a few different axe throwing places out there. Would you say you were the first, or did you come in like late to the game, or?
Yeah, so the company's been around since 2006, so we quite literally started the sport of urban axe throwing. Now, obviously, axe throwing has been around for millennia. It's been around forever. People have been always throwing sharp stuff. But in terms of bringing it indoors, making it into an organized sport, that was new as of 2006. So our company developed it. We're pioneers of the industry. And so we then opened up our indoor axe throwing venues all across Ontario, and then we expanded to Calgary in 2015, and then now we're all over North America. So we have about 16 locations and counting.
And that's across North America?
All across North America. So Nashville, Chicago, Scottsdale, Arizona, we're all over.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's cool to see the other venues.
Okay, so you said you have the one size of axe, and you said you only when it comes down to like a draw where you like use the other size of axes.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not like a big axe like versus like.
Yeah, no. So we use the hatchets. So our standard gameplay is 5 throws per round, 3 rounds.
Oh, okay.
So it's best 2 out of 3 to win the whole match. But in regular league, we'll always play that third because we always want to count as many points as possible. If we happen to end in a tie, that's when we'll bring out the big axe. And it's a big deal. Everyone's chanting, big axe, big axe. It's a good time. And plus, you just feel super powerful whenever you sink that big one.
Well, yeah, absolutely. This has been awesome. Do you have any plans to check out anything else in Calgary? Anything like that's new or something that'd be new to you?
I haven't seen much of like the different museums around the town, which I think would be pretty sweet to see the history of Calgary.
No.
Because as a city, it's pretty relatively new as opposed to where I'm from. I'm from Ontario, where we've been established. It took a little bit of time to make our way out west. Yeah. So I kind of want to see a little bit more of that, a little bit more of the art scene especially.
Yeah, it's a bit harder to find from what I understand too. It's like the art scene here, yeah. Right? Because it's a lot newer.
It is a lot newer, but it's still there. Like I just went to an art battle recently, which is really sweet. Cool. It's 20-minute speed painting between artists. It's a cool time.
Where was that at?
They were hosted in the Rec Room. So
nice.
It's a company all across North America, and they go around and they have like regionals and stuff, and it's just artists that have to make a painting in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, right before your eyes. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, so one of my last questions here is, do you have to wear a lot of plaid?
No, I reject that image. No.
You reject that image?
No, I mean, some people find that plaid makes them throw better, and we don't necessarily agree with that. But no, it's really great. Plaid is not something that is in my wardrobe, but a lot of our events that come in, a lot of people that roll through the door, they're all dressed identical as lumberjacks, and it's
nice.
pretty amazing.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's continue on here because we're gonna need a winner.
Ooh.
So,
my turn?
Is it my turn or your turn?
I have no idea.
I think it's your turn.
I'm doing a full stretch. My arms are not this long.
Oh, but you're doing good. Okay.
It's moving a lot.
It is moving a lot. All of your friends in the axe throwing community?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's the cool thing about axe throwing is, I just twisted it. So in the axe throwing community, whenever you go anywhere, you're immediately amongst here's that you consider family. So if I were to reach out to anyone in North America that is an axe club, I could go visit that axe club and I would feel at home. I feel very welcomed in that space, regardless of if it's battle or not. We're all amongst the same mindset of like positive community involvement.
That is super cool. And that's something that I never really kind of took into account when I was looking up battle. I never thought that it would be a center of positivity.
It's huge. And like, that's all we're about. We're about using axes as a tool and just enjoying each other's company, making people feel belonging, that connection, because there's so much disconnect in the world and there's so much negativity that why put it out there? Why not make a safe space for everyone? And that's really what we're about.
Okay. So what days are open and how much does it cost? Like when, how do I get out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So our leagues are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they're happening all those days and those happen in the evenings. Any other day, we will open up for you. So if you want to book an event, as long as we have notice, then you can come on in and we can have you and a group of friends or family or colleagues, especially coworkers. We get a lot of corporate events. If you want to come on in, you just book in advance. We'll open up for you. We'll put you through a round robin tournament, accumulating a playoff, throw some big axe, have some fun, that kind of thing. Or if you don't want a big event, you can always come to our drop-in times on the weekend as well, during select times there.
Right on. Okay, so we'll just continue on with the Jenga here. It's going to be... Oh.
That was a good one.
That's a good one. Okay, I can't believe that this thing is still standing.
It's going to be a challenge.
Yes, it is going to be. It's going to be a total challenge.
There we go. Knock out the bottom brick.
Oh, no, I can't take that one.
It's going. As if that stood.
I know, right? Okay. You were supposed to be the one that's like chopping things down.
I use a lot of wood in my day-to-day life.
Oh, there we go. Right on.
Good game.
Totally good game and really good interview. I was really glad to have you come out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And maybe I'll bring you back here and have a rematch.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Right on. Thanks for listening to Epic Phelan. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe and give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at RealRyanPhelan, and visit my website at thecalgaryrealestateguy.com. Until next time, stay epic.